Black Eye Perspective. Hello and good morning to everyone. It's a pretty early start for me here. But you know what? I just want to ask the question, is it worth it? I was just reading a story a few minutes ago about the Atlanta area supermarket worker who succumbed to gunshot wounds after she accosted a customer with regards to the mask. Now, we've done a couple of stories here about masks before in the past, and I think that we can all say that it just has not panned out to work for a lot of folks. I want to take you over here and let's go on ahead and look at the story, and then we're also going to look at the video that was done by, I think it's Fox 5 there in Georgia. But it's just, to me, it's just, this is getting more than out of hand. It was done at the Big Bear grocery store there in Georgia. And this is just getting ridiculous. Hello, old head Deuce. It's good to see you. Tam, Sister Legs, what's going on? So you guys are going to hear some background noise because my grandkids are here. Okay, so y'all already know. But in any case, I digress. So look here. Okay, so it says an Atlanta area sheriff's deputy was shot and a woman died on Monday after a shootout at a grocery store. Now, according to the news story, it's called Big Bear grocery store. And it stemmed from an argument over wearing a mask, authority said. A DeKalb County Sheriff's Office Reserve Unit deputy, a 30-year law enforcement veteran who was retired from the agency, was shot twice and was listed in stable condition. DeKalb County Sheriff Melody Maddox said in a news conference, the suspect, identified as Victor Lee Tucker, 30, was struck multiple times and taken to the hospital, authorities said. And he was listed in stable condition. However, the young woman who had the confrontation with him succumbed to her injuries, and there was another worker there that was grazed. I'm not going to read all the story, but I will tell you that it's just one of those things that I believe as the summer progresses, we're going to begin to see more of. If you remember a little bit ago, I stated that I thought this summer was going to be pretty shaky, and it is. And it's going to be shaky because of things like this. Listen, it's already warm down here in the South. You've already got a lot of people that are mixed up and confused because some people still have the masks, seeing that they can wear masks. Some people are in some areas are not wearing them. So it's going back and forth. Susie Pentland, how are you? And so when you consider all of that, is it really worth it? So I'm here to tell you guys that if you work with people, my answer to you for that question that I'm asking right now is no. You don't own none of that stuff in that store. Leave them people alone. If folks want to come in and they don't want to wear one, that ain't on you, baby, because you can tell somebody not to wear one and your boss give you a pink slip later that night for something else that has nothing to do with upholding that law or that rule or that regulation. It is not worth it. It is not worth it. I'm looking at too many stories here where people are having an issue over somebody being upset because somebody else didn't wear something on their face. There's an appendage that you're not wearing and we don't like it and we want you to fix this right now. So it's not that, plain and simple, without even having to drag it all out to a whole hour live. I just have to say it's not worth it because look, somebody's not going home. Okay. Somebody is not going home. That young lady is not going home. The guy who ended up doing whatever it was that he did to her, his rump ain't going home. He's in the hospital until he goes to jail. So none of these things are worth it. If you work in the public, leave them people alone because you don't know what type of anxiety you are going to be faced with. You don't know what this person's dealing with. And I'm not condoning what somebody else did or why would a person react or respond the way that they're doing, that they are. I don't condone people acting up and being mean and hurting and harming folks. That's not what I'm saying. So please don't get it twisted. What I'm saying is that when you weigh out the checks and the balances of if you see somebody, use the spirit of discernment. I mean, everybody's got it, whether you whether you acknowledge it or not. You got it. Everybody has that feeling. Well, something told me not to make that left turn down there, and there was an accident. Something told me not to take that turn down there, and now I'm stuck in traffic. Take that something told you and do it. Leave them people alone. You have folks out here who can't pay their bills, and maybe they're in the store and they're just maybe getting their last few things before they clear out the house that they can't afford to stay in anymore. Now they're about to be homeless. And here you come telling them about something to stick on their face. And they're really not even focused on that right then. They're focused on whatever it is they're doing. And again, I'm not condoning. I'm trying to get you to understand that this is part and parcel of what has been created. So the reason why they can lift these things now is because they already know they got enough Karens running around here to do everything that they need. When you give somebody the authority that they feel like they just really, really want to run with, this is the kind of stuff that happens. This poor young lady is not going home. The same company could have had a pink slip already prepared. She could have been on her third disciplinary documentation. They could have been letting her go this Friday when she picked up her check. And she's going to be day and say, you got to do this, you got to do that. Really, dude? Seriously? That badge is not the little badge that you get on your name that says Becky Sue. I'm sorry, honey, but it's not made of Teflon. It's not made of Kevlar. Okay? It's not made of kryptonite. It ain't made of none of that. Ain't none of that happening. When I read the story, I thought to myself, oh, gee whiz, this is terrible. Now, I did see it, possibly like everybody else saw it. But as I began to read it, I felt a little, let's just say it just did not feel like it was the whole story, if you know what I mean. Okay. It didn't feel like it was the whole story. It felt like there was a little bit added to, because see, for me, I need to see the story off rip. I mean, you need to show me something. Show me a driver's license picture of somebody. Yeah, give me a driver's license picture of a person. Give me something. Don't just tell me, oh, this happened, that happened, and this happened, and this is what's going on. I don't want to see any of that. I need you to show me at least a driver's license picture of the person that you say did something. Okay. All right. And I need you to show me maybe a picture of something else, because I need to tie some stuff together really quick. And yes, it is possible for you to have a driver's license picture of who you say is an assailant. It is. Yeah, it is. Or the person who did something or who had something done to them. So when I see stories, it just makes me a little, I don't know. So let me take you guys to this, and I'm going to show you. I think this may be, is this a clip of it? But they named the cashier. Here's the story. So let me give you guys this. We're going to go ahead and look at the story right here. I'm going to bring it over here. All right. Guys, go ahead and look at this. Okay. So the police named the cashier killed during the DeKalb County supermarket shooting. The community mourns the cashier that was killed by the gunman. Customers and coworkers stopped by the Big Bear grocery store a day after a gunman claimed the life of 41-year-old Laquita Willis, who worked as a store cashier. They also wrote well wishes for the recovery of the 54-year-old reserved deputy, Danny Jordan, who was in a store. He was the in-store security at the time. Okay. So the law enforcement officers have named the cashier killed in the deadly shooting Monday in DeKalb County. Again, her name was Laquita Willis, and she was shot and killed following a dispute with a customer over a mask at the Big Bear supermarket in DeKalb County. So this is the young lady. It says, our hearts and our prayers go out to the Willis family, and as well as the injured sheriff's deputy and everyone impacted by yesterday's senseless incident, a DeKalb County police officer or police spokesperson said. Co-workers came to the supermarket Tuesday the day following the shooting, which would have been yesterday, leaving flowers in remembrance of Willis. One person at the store Tuesday said that Willis was a longtime employee, about 10 years at the Big Bear supermarket. Quote, my sister was in the store yesterday. In fact, she was just a few registers down, a frequent customer, Deborah Hunter, said. I'm devastated as to what happened in this community. And that's from a customer by the name of Helene Mapp. Go figure. It was something. It was crazy, fellow Big Bear employee Matthew Bowers said. Okay, so let's go ahead and see this.
I'm consumer investigator.
I really don't care. I really don't care, Dale. Let me go up here and see if this is going to give us anything better. I don't really care. I don't really care. Let's go back down here and see if he's ready, if Dale is done. We put a mute on Dale. Okay, here we go.
Grocery store leaves a cashier dead and a deputy wounded. According to the GBI, the DeKalb County shootout started as an argument over a face mask.
Investigators say a customer shot the cashier. Fox 5's Brian Hill joins us now live tonight. And Brian, this happened near South DeKalb Mall, and you're learning more about the victim.
That's correct. I was able to speak with a cousin of that cashier who tells me she had worked here for about 10 years and was soft-spoken and never had an altercation with anyone here before. I also spoke with several customers who tell me they were terrified after hearing several gunshots.
I thought we were all fixing to die.
Chaos and confusion Monday for customers inside this DeKalb County supermarket.
I panicked and started running, and then I heard some more firing, and I said, he's going to kill everybody in the store.
Just after 1 Monday afternoon, the Georgia Bureau of Investigations tells us 30-year-old Victor Tucker got into a dispute with a female cashier over his face mask while in the checkout line at the Big Bear supermarket. Investigators say Tucker left the store without making his purchase, but immediately returned with a handgun and shot that cashier.
I was in the produce section, and when the first shot went off, I went down behind some protection, and then I dog-eyed and saw the guy put a gun down. I heard 4 or 5 more shots, and I stayed down behind the boxes.
The store is located on Candler Road near the South DeKalb Mall. After shooting that worker, the GBI says Tucker began shooting at a DeKalb County deputy who intervened and returned fire. The deputy was off duty working at the supermarket as a security guard. Both were wounded during the exchange of gunfire. All right. And where were you in the store when the gunshot started?
On my way to the checkout, right where he was. Exactly where he was. I saw him raise his arm, and then the firing.
Several customers tell me they ran to the back of the store trying to get out. Instead, they had to hide because the back door was locked.
Had he come back to where I was, I'd have got the gun. One way or the other, I don't ever think I'm going to die till I'm dead.
Investigators say 2 DeKalb County police officers were able to arrest Tucker as he tried to crawl out of the store's front door. Now here outside of the store, you can see there is a sign that says no mask, no service. We've learned that a second cashier was grazed by a bullet, but she is expected to be okay. Right now, both Tucker and that deputy are still in the hospital. We're working to find out more about what charges Tucker could face. Stay with us for those details. Live in DeKalb County, Brian Hill, Fox 5 News.
All right, so you guys heard that, you saw that, and all the above. It is not worth it. Okay, I don't care what anybody says, it ain't worth it. Okay, you can hear music. That's not my theme song. My theme song is Rockin'. It's written by Ronnie Man. Okay, but nonetheless, it's just not worth it. I don't know if you guys can even hear that or not. I heard it coming through my headphones. But my point is, it's not worth it. Let it be. The stuff don't belong to you. And is it really over a conversation? Sure, she was a soft-spoken person, they say, but we don't know what actually happened. And since you don't know what's going on in somebody's household and their pocketbook and their life and their mind and their everything, leave it alone. Half these folks haven't had any fresh oxygen in ages, and it is depleting their rationale and their form of thought. Every single thing. It all ties in together. Okay. Yes, it is, Tam. Yes. Okay, most assuredly. Let's go through some of these before we break out here. Okay, let's go back up. Oh, we already said hello to you, old head Deuce. Good to see you. Susie Pentland, thank you for being here. No, never war, never will. Come on now. All right. In my state of Kentucky, we recently had a hearing where an expert testified about the efficacy of them. Okay. This expert was highly qualified. He gave factual scientific evidence that they were worthless. And not just that, if you read any of the emails that I just read recently, somebody else said the same thing that we've all been saying for the past year. And so all I'm saying is that once you start depleting a person of oxygen, it's no telling what their thought process is, because they've killed off a lot of different stuff. And that's just real. That's real talk. I'm not saying anything that's not true. Okay. All right. So it's just not cool. Okay. I'm doing well trying to focus on Jesus. That's good, Susie. Okay. Sarah, exactly. Totally worthless. All right. The expert even said the CDC has smart people who know better. LOL. So what's the purpose? It's for division, and it's actually to cause a new civil type of unrest. Okay. Monica Beach says discernment and free will. Praise him all day long. Yes, ma'am. Tam Tam says pray, stay out of the way. Okay. Yep, it does. And that's exactly what it does, Tam Tam is. And that's the reason why it's able for people to just let it go really quickly. Hey, if you guys haven't already done so, please hit that like button before you leave. If you have to go, I know it's lunchtime in some areas, and some areas it's still brunch or breakfast. But if you could do that for me, it'd be awesome. So yeah, so I just feel like, you know what? It's just, I don't either. Listen, I lived out there for several years, and I'm not saying the market doesn't exist. I just never knew of it. And so that's my point. Even if that person, let's say, for example, that everything was 100% accurate. Okay. It still ain't worth it. Okay. And here's what I'm saying. It could be all of that. It sure could. It could be all of that. All right. Thank you, Ronnie. I'm so glad to see my brother. It could be all of that. Okay. It sure could. But the deal is that it will be enough of that spoken to where everybody will start to feel like, oh, we gotta keep it done. We gotta keep a mandate. We gotta keep this. The boss said to do such and such. This was my reaction to the old lady who said that we're all gonna, X, Y, or Z. This is gonna happen to all of us, girl. By you still telling the story. Okay. And that old man looks sort of familiar. I'm not saying that he was, Richard Roundtree's buddy back in the day, but hey. Hey, Rachel Van Ziel, I enjoyed my conversation with you yesterday. Thank you so much, sister. So good to see you. And then they are, Tam Tam, they are. I love the hair on your thumbnail. Beautiful hair. Okay. So, hey, Lee, good morning to you, my sweet brother. I love you. I love you. Shaggy, shaggy. So yeah, so it's just not worth it, folks. It's not worth it for any of us to get involved in any of this stuff. Leave people alone. Let folks mind their own business. You mind your own business and live to see another day. Because a lot of this stuff, as Tam Tam has said, some of this stuff is a little, crocheted. It's a little put together with a Singer sewing machine, and you know what I'm trying to say. And since it's like that, you don't want to be the one having to deal with the ramifications of any of that stuff. You don't want to be there, because see, what'll happen is it'll end up being where the stuff that you and I know that was made together, like put on a sewing machine, it'll make those things. It will also prompt things that are real to happen. You see? So we cannot deal with any of that stuff. You guys, we're coming up on 18 minutes and 50 seconds. I just wanted to say, hey, you say you're letting your silver out too. That's good. You're letting your silver hair shine. Okay. Not fair. I want to have a conversation with Rachel Van Ziel. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's good to talk to anybody as a part of Yasharal. It's excellent. So here's what I want to say. I want to say that we can possibly come back later, because I got some stories dealing with Mr. Biden. Maybe we can run that through right now. But yeah, I guess we could, because the topic would be okay. A lot of times I don't want the topics to sort of cross, which I've noticed when I do some of my, when I look back over stuff, that's what it does. It'll go into another topic, but the topic of the video ain't what we talking about. That part. So let's just do that. Let's see if we can do that. Should I leave this guy alone? I feel like I should. I feel like I should just leave the old fella alone, but nothing doing. All right, so here we go. There you go. Biden's oil and gas lease ban blocked by a federal judge. Well, let's see. That's updated today. All right. It says a federal judge in Louisiana has blocked President Joe Biden's suspension of new oil and gas leases on federal land and water, delivering a setback to the administration's efforts to clamp down on fossil fuels. U.S. District Judge Ted Doherty, his ruling filed on June the 15th, grants a preliminary injunction and a 13-statewide lawsuit, led by Louisiana Republican Attorney General Jeff Landry. Landry said, quote, "This is a victory not only for the rule of law, but it is also for thousands of workers who produce affordable energy for Americans." Technically, the injunction amounts to a halt of the Biden administration's suspension of new drilling permits, with a nationwide effect pending further arguments on the merits of the case. The lawsuit alleged that the Biden administration violated provisions of the Administrative Procedure Act, or the APA, and that Biden exceeded his powers in Section 208 of Executive Order 1408. Biden, on his first day of office, signed the order, which the federal government, quote, "must advance environmental justice." I hope I'm still here. I'm going to make sure, because you guys know this thing be tripping. Okay. All righty. Justice, and among other efforts, reduce greenhouse gas emissions and bolster resilience to the impacts of climate change. Help us, holy, holy, holy. Landry and the other plaintiffs argued that the administration bypassed comment periods and other bureaucratic steps required before a drilling permit pause could be imposed. All right. And that the move would cost the states money and jobs. And so to me, it's like, really, seriously, how much, how stupid do you have to be to know that it's not going to affect jobs? You come in talking about the climate. Who among us would want to worship the creation more than the creator? Everybody is out just, hug a tree, make it your friend today. And I get it, but I don't get it. Okay. So it says the plaintiff states that claims are substantial, millions and possibly billions of dollars are at stake. The judge wrote in a memorandum, quote, "Local government funding jobs for plaintiff state workers and funds for the restoration of Louisiana's coastline are at stake, most assuredly. Plaintiff states have a reliance interest in the proceeds derived from offshore and on-land oil and gas lease sales," he added. The judge also added that imposing the moratorium on the Biden administration's failed to provide sufficient rationale for its decision. The omission of any rational explanation and canceling the lease sales and enacting the pause results in this court's ruling that the plaintiff states also have substantial likelihood of success on the merits of the claim, the judge wrote. The Interior Department Communications Director, Ms. Melissa Schultz, responded to the injunction in a statement saying, quote, "We are reviewing the judge's opinion and will comply with the decisions," though she did not specify any plans. Sweetie, there's no more in that bottle. Ain't no more grape juice, baby. You can't beat it out of it. Okay. Though she did not specify any plans to appeal the injunction. The Interior Department continues to work on the interim report that will include initial findings on the state of the federal conventional energy programs, as well as an outlined state next steps of the recommendations for the Department of Congress to improve the blah, 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 whatever. So here's the deal. Mr. I care about the American people and I'm a Democrat and all we care about is giving money, money, money. So you got money that you want to give, but at the same time, you're going to take all of these jobs away from that whole entire coastline, of which I have family members that work in that whole area down there where all of that oil and all that. So it doesn't make any sense. All of the things that were done to come in to sort of take employment or gainful employment away from people and then try to hand them a couple of $1,000s a month. This stuff is just off the chain. And it's just not necessary. Let people work, leave people alone. And I tell you what, if you want to protect the environment, start in your household. Quit buying stuff that comes in plastic. Why don't you go up to the companies who put everything inside of plastic and let's go back to glass? Bet you won't do it. Let's go back to glass. Let's go back to paper, period, all across the board. Get these companies that are putting everything in gigantic, plastic containers. All right. All the plastic containers that have the stuff that turns, little boys into something else. I said it. Okay. Do that. If you want to impress me and you're really concerned about the environment, then you know what? Fix a lot of different stuff that can be fixed, but you won't do that. You won't do that. But you will take things away that would prevent people from having gainful employment so that they would have to be dependent upon you and somebody else. As soon as your demented self, old dementia, Mr. Old Dementia, as soon as you go, they'll have to be dependent upon somebody else. All right, you guys, I think I have said enough before I get myself in some trouble. Let's go ahead and read some of these comments and then we are out of here. Rachel Van Zale says, hey there, Ronnie man. Yes, Susie Pentland says, I'm all natural talking about the hair. Ronnie gives us some fist pumps and some smiles. I hope you guys looked on the community tab this morning because I woke up this morning with that morning song on my mind. I sure did. I hit my brother up and I said, morning. And then I let you guys have it too. All right. So thanks, Sarah. He had a full life and a good one. Okay. Good for you. It took me a long time to get there, but I am, and it feels so good. All right. Tam, I had a Tennessee Walker. As a child, she was like a big puppy dog. Okay. Shout out to Lee. 1 5x5. You love your horsies. That's good. That's good. LOL, beat it. Yeah. Kick rocks. This is the third day in a row that I've had bucket trucks from power companies at my house cutting on my trees. The paranoid me thinks they're trying to clear a path of frequency. Does that mean? I'm going to leave that alone because that's been a topic of discussion over the past couple of days, especially within the last week for me. So I'll leave that one right there. But I ain't mad at you. That's awesome, Tam. The horse really trusted you. When I was 20, I helped train Tennessee Walkers. Not good. All right, Tam, why not? You guys having a good conversation down there. Somebody lost their doggy. I hate hearing that, to be honest. I still miss and cry over my dog sometimes, Dakota. And Dakota was the best dog ever. I lost my dog, Dakota, too. I think I told you that. Okay. All right. We've got a friend called as soon as possible. Thanks for the, aww. All right, you guys, we're going to get out of here. We're at 28 minutes, so this is about a 30-minute live. I appreciate you guys for being here and just listening to me vent about these two topics, especially about old boy with the no job. They don't want nobody to work. I mean, how can you, if you don't work, you don't eat, right? And then eventually, who's paying for what? How much are we paying for all of this? This stuff can't end well. None of it can end well at all. So with that said, stay out of people's faces. If you happen to work in public, dealing with the public, let people be. Don't even get into it with somebody. Let them folks alone. Smile if you can smile. Be kind, give customer service, but let them people alone. And then, Mr. President, if we can call you Mr. President, I think you got the message, right? Yeah. I think you got the message. Them Southern boys got you together. See, some about us Southern folk got you together. Yeah. All right, folks, you guys take care. Remember what we always say here on the show, that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High Yah. You guys take care of yourselves and take care of one another. We'll talk soon. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way. the day.